From upstaging Taylor Swift at an awards ceremony to his recent anti-Semitic Twitter storm, West's string of controversies may have finally brought down his empire of art and hip-hop. But they say madness is a sign of genius. That's why today we are going to be examining Ye, from his childhood to where he is today, for better or for worse. Ye was born on June 8th in 1977 in Atlanta, Georgia, but moved to Chicago at age 3 when his parents got a divorce. His father, Ray, is a former Black Panther and photojournalist. His mother, Donda, was an English professor who rose through the ranks in universities. This creative and academic setting gifted the young Kanye with a middle-class upbringing. His mother noticed his affinity for drawing and for music in the 3rd grade. And apparently he wrote poetry since he was 5 years old. This developed into songwriting and rap up until the 7th grade, when he persuaded his mother to pay for sessions in a recording studio. The studio was little more than a microphone dangling from the ceiling of a basement. But still, the 14-year-old or so Kanye had produced his very first ever rap song, Green Eggs and Ham. Apparently, it kinda sucked, which it would if anyone wrote their first rap song when they were going through puberty. But that feedback came from his mentor, No ID. But Kanye, the young protege, took that feedback well, and multiplied those ideas and added his own new perspective. No ID even taught him how to sample and program his own beats, once Kanye received his first sample a year later.
So I would just send him on missions like, look man, this how you sample, go do that.
Samples, of course, becoming a trademark of West's earlier musical style. By the time high school graduation had come around, Kanye West had already clocked a few years of experimenting and learning the foundations of his genre. But as always, the real change would be a life-changing decision. West received a scholarship to attend the illustrious Chicago American Academy of Art, where he first began taking painting classes. Shortly after, he transferred to Chicago State to study English, the same exact building, in fact, where his own mother was working. However, the busy class schedule interfered with his music progression, so he took the decision to drop out of college to pursue his dreams. There are no prizes for guessing what the name of Kanye's first album would be. The mid-90s saw Kardashian's future hubby developing a style of music known as chipmunk soul. This signature of speeding up soul samples can be found in many mixtapes of the blossoming artists in his hometown.
You speed them up. Thus is a style that we're using, that everybody is using right now with the sped up samples.
But due to association with Derek D. Angeletti, for whom he had ghost produced for, West wasn't able to release a solo album. So instead, formed a group with other Chicago rappers. Kinda like a superhero team, except everyone has the same superpower, and it's living with your mom still. Though his group, the Go-Getters, did eventually produce their own studio album, West spent most of the late 90s working for other people, and clocking in his hours as a music producer. Undoubtedly, he was still tinkering away behind the scenes on his own work for his solo debut. But it was his big break in 2000 that kicked everything in gear. It might be hard to believe, but there was a time when hip-hop heavyweight Jay-Z's career was doing worse than Vanilla Ice's. Thankfully for Jay-Z, West's contributions to his comeback album Blueprint had it heralded as one of the greatest hip-hop records ever made. Critical and financial success naturally followed, and generated substantial interest in Kanye West. Yet even with all this heat to lift his career, record labels didn't want to take a shot on Kanye as a rapper. He was largely ignored for not portraying the gangsta image which was prominent at the time. His upbringing contrasted with other would-be label mates, and he couldn't shake the image of the behind-the-scenes guy. That image would be ripped away in 2002 when he was involved in a life-changing car crash. Kanye West was working late in a recording studio on October 23rd, when he fell asleep at the wheel. He caused a head-on crash with another vehicle. Thankfully, no one died, but both drivers suffered serious injuries. West himself received a shattered jaw, which had to be wired shut in reconstructive surgery. But this roadblock was the impetus that he needed to know he had to give it 100%. 2 weeks later, he recorded Through the Wire, which he recorded with his jaw still clamped shut. He then used $35,000 of his own cash to fund the music video. Both the song and the video received a lot of praise and playtime, proving to all those music executives that they had made a big mistake by passing up on old Kanye West. Now was the time to put the finishing touches on his debut album, The College Dropout, which he did whilst finishing his recovery. But in another would-be setback, the music was leaked months before its release. And it's exactly here that we see West's genius adaptability. Any other artist might have spent time and money tracking down the leaker and dragging them to court, or try to suppress it somehow, or maybe drink themselves into a stupor. Or all three. Instead, Kanye had the leaked album reviewed and used that feedback to finesse the official album once more. Some tracks were removed, others remixed, and some were remastered. These meticulous refinements would ultimately postpone the release 3 times, until its eventual release in August 2003. But it was worth the wait. The 4th single from the album, Jesus Walks, contained themes of faith and Christianity, which helped him reach wider audiences. Studio executives doubted that such a dramatic and passionate declaration of faith would ever get radio airtime. The fact that it did must have been yet another ego boost for West's glowing reputation. The album went triple platinum, garnered 10 Grammy nominations, and even won Best Rap Album. All it took was a brush with death. Okay, so here's where we fast forward because, as you probably know, the next part of West's history involved dropping his trademark techniques, finding a new sound, and building upon his success. You probably remember seeing him when he upstaged Taylor Swift when she won Best Female Video.
But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Or when he called out George W. Bush during a Hurricane Katrina charity phone-in.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
And you certainly remember all of the girlfriends he had. But we're here to talk about the important stuff, like West's eventual break into the fashion industry, which was something that he had actually voiced an interest in for a long time. Despite teasing some early collaborations with the likes of A Bathing Ape and Nike, he would find success with his Yeezy brand of shoes when he landed a long-term collaboration with Adidas. Many critics panned his fashion lines, saying the clothes were overpriced and made the wearers look homeless. But the bank balance speaks for itself. Other of West's business ventures include starting an automobile factory in Chicago, as well as buying Twitter rival Parler and his 2020 presidential bid. I'll leave this to you guys to decide which of these is his craziest idea. But all of this came crashing down on October 7th, 2022, when West tweeted that Puff Daddy was controlled by Jews, and that it was time to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. As you'd imagine, any of West's business connections started sweating harder than R. Kelly at a high school prom. Kanye West started losing deals left, right, and center, so he went on Piers Morgan's chat show for damage control.
Do you now regret saying
I update
DEFCON
every
3
day.
on Jewish people? Are you sorry you said that?
No.
I think it matters. You should be.
Absolutely not.
You should be.
But that only made things worse. Amongst Kanye's ramblings, Morgan asked the rapper if he understood that his tweets were racist, to which the College Dropout star replied, "Yes, that's why I said it." Oof. Shoulda stayed in school, Kanye. Since that appearance, more business ties have been completely severed with West, bringing him from billionaire to millionaire almost completely overnight. Many have been claiming that he is mentally unwell. Others are wondering if he's autistic. Some think his ego has pushed him over the edge. Whatever the cause is, only time will tell whether or not Kanye will bounce back, or whether these roadblocks are too much for him to overcome. If you think he can make it work, or whether this is the end for the artist, let me know in the comments down below. No doubt you've got your own anecdotes and theories to share. And please help me overcome my own roadblock in life, the YouTube algorithm. Like, share, subscribe, and all of that stuff to help me keep growing this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.